The 50th Law was the first real book that changed my life. It was the book that allowed me to start my first business, which netted me $100,000 during my freshman year of high school. It was the book that allowed me to reverse my pornography addiction into something powerful, a tool to not only start a new venture for myself, but also to inspire others to become who they always wanted to be. When I say these things, it's not to brag about my accomplishments, but rather to show the practical application of the lessons from this book to my reality, and to show you how to do the same thing for your reality. My journey as an Asian kid in a Jewish suburb is much different from 50 Cent's childhood being abandoned by his parents and having to grow up on the streets. But regardless, the same lessons apply. This book will be one of the best at not only showing you how to break through your issues to achieve success, but to also embrace the journey that comes with it. Chapter 1. See things for what they are. Intense realism. One thing before we jump into this first lesson is that instead of just repeating the book in a shortened form, most of these lessons will come from my personal life, as I've always liked to relate to a video or book to absorb more from it. My main advice is not only to watch this video, but to also read the book for yourself. The first step from Robert Greene and 50 Cent, or Curtis Jackson, is to embrace your reality. See through the bullshit and get to the point. While we don't like to talk about this topic too often, all of us will die. My friends, my family, and even you. Rather than wish everything were different, and that you came from a better home, or that you were better looking, or that you had a higher IQ, you embrace your challenges because that is what life dealt you. You can't run away from it. And as much as people say living in a bedroom, wasting your life away on video games and porn is technically an easier lifestyle, at the end of the day, it's miserable, and I've lived through that. My entire life, I've been challenged. You might not say as harshly as 50 Cent, and I agree, but everyone faces different struggles. To say that porn addiction isn't real and isn't hard is dumb as well, but rather than just complaining about it, I turned it around. Because it was so hard, I was able to start a YouTube channel about it. Through this, I made an online course, connected with other creators, and have been able to flip around something that killed my first business into something that made my drive that much stronger. Embrace the struggle and use it to your advantage. The first time I started NoFap, I saw it as a challenge that helped my discipline, and that's what sparked all of this. Chapter 2. Make everything your own. Self-reliance. Do not be completely reliant on others for anything. Learning by yourself is a great way to gain confidence, gain knowledge, and to make extra money that can be invested back into yourself. For many, working at a job is your best chance for a stable income. But rather than being completely dependent on one thing for your money, you can start an online business, or your own side business, or even just get a side job. Online, you can create a YouTube channel, start a side hustle, or just help others and gain experience that way. You will have an abundance of options rather than getting on your hands and knees for a job. Remember, the best time to find a job is when you already have one. For me, Creative Vein is a business that will help me pay for college or just live on my own. But while my goal is to hit 1 million subscribers on July 31st, 2021, if YouTube goes under, or if YouTube is overrun by corporations, I need to build an audience in different places. This means getting subscribers on a course while helping people for free, and using different accounts on different social media platforms to allow me to keep my audience and brand by myself. Chapter 3 is to turn shit into sugar. Opportunism. The key lesson here is that every negative situation contains the possibility for something positive. and opportunity. Your perspective on challenges is the determining factor on how well you will overcome them or if you will succumb to them. If you see the world as this negative place where nothing good happens, you will fail. But if you see the world as a neutral arena where things happen, you can flip them around to learn and problem solve. Then you're able to make a name for yourself despite disadvantages. This would have been a great place to talk about how I transformed my pornography addiction into something positive, the same way I talked about it in the first lesson. And if you read the book, many lessons actually transcend one another. This is a different example from my software business days. I was in the 8th grade making a few $100s from selling programs online. I was happy with it and used it not only to buy new shoes for basketball, but also to invest in Google stock. But it turns out it was against eBay's policies to sell on multiple accounts at the same time, as I was using a separate account for my parents so they wouldn't know about my business. I sulked around for a week or so because I put in a lot of work on eBay to sell well, but rather than complain, I gave away a free trial on YouTube to see if anyone would subscribe and possibly go to my Weebly page to buy a program. It worked, and rather than just a few $100 or $1,000, I was in the 6-figure range in my first year. If bad shit happens, the world is giving you a chance to prove yourself as a bitch like my 13-year-old self, or to turn it around into something greater. Chapter 4 is to keep moving. Calculated momentum. If you ever watched a YouTube channel that's gone stale, or have seen one of those one-hit wonders that never get back up there, it's because they stop moving. They've become complacent with what they've gotten. I've seen this with myself on my old channel and with YouTubers that I used to watch. Do not get pinned down and stop evolving. If everything stopped and you had to start all over again, you wouldn't know how to survive without what has already been built. I noticed this in my YouTube channel, which is why I'm switching this type of video for today. I realized that the premise of my channel is to make you the person that you've always wanted to be, and I've achieved a lot of that. Although I still have many problems with my pornography addiction, I've become normal again in my viewing habits, and I'm getting longer and longer streaks without it. I'm looking better and getting more attention from girls. I'm more confident and have a social circle now. However, due to all of this, I don't have that many issues where I can make YouTube videos detailing how to solve them. So instead of trying to pump out more videos on tips and tricks, I need to continue on the mission of making me who I've always wanted to be, and step up my quality of video and test new ideas like this book summary. But rather than just regurgitating information like many other YouTubers, I'm showing how to use this information. So that's how I'm moving forward. Testing rather than sitting around and hoping everything will just continue the way it has been. Get that flow and never let in. Keep moving with the times. Chapter 5, Know When to Be Bad, Aggression. This is the last chapter we'll be going over today before part 2. 50 Cent learned that when hustling, if you ever showed fear, you would be disrespected. You must get over any general fears you have of confronting people, or you'll find it extremely difficult to assert yourself in the face of people who are more cunning and ruthless than you are. Learn how to manipulate and sometimes just overpower others. For me, while I've always been bold in the respect of fighting back if anyone would insult me, there were times where I was definitely afraid of confrontation. I had to learn to box back against kids that were even bigger than me. And when I did, even if I lost, I gave them a run for their money. I would sometimes have to play dirty, sometimes pulling out a sharp object to scare them off, and over time, they just stopped messing with me. You also have to know how to be passive aggressive as well. I mess with people's grades if they start issues with me, and after that, they know not to mess with me. For most of my days, I'm a very positive person, and fighting back is not a negative, but just another challenge in the world to see if I can be bold enough. That's all there is for part 1 of the 50th Law summary. Keep moving, be bold, and have fun in this lifetime. There will be 5 more lessons with personal stories attached in the next video, so be sure to subscribe for more. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. Creative Vein. Peace.